Hello, hello. Welcome in, Mac, Dooku, Fanny Slam. Hope everybody's doing well. Happy Wednesday. Okay. This was gonna be the kitchen and a dining room on one of the sides. I don't know how we're gonna do. Anyway, the manor is looking a little bit fancier now, as you can see. Let's take a look here. Okay. So here we go. I got these nice doors. They're a little bit all the same right now. I may mirror the trim on one of them or something. We got these various pieces of art, very abstract, on the walls here. No two pieces are the same, of course. I don't. Okay, so the general idea is you're gonna get here and there's gonna be like, oh look, you're not gonna be immediately met with 5 doors you can go through. We're gonna limit it somehow. I don't know where the idea is you're slowly getting clues as to where Gwen has run off to, in the form of these little scattered pieces of diary. You know, everybody loves the lore. And so the way that I've written out the script from a couple weeks back, or I guess last week, is that once you find the one particular page, that's got the answer. And so you don't really have to read the rest, but maybe I can have some knowledge gates. Hi, Al. For some of the doors. I don't want it to be too overt. You'll never. Well, Pikmin 2 treasures. You have a chance. You have a chance to. So the idea is like, I don't know, like maybe there's like renovations going on at the house, and it's like, oh well, you can't get across to this one because I don't know, the doors or the stairs are being worked on, or something. And so you have to somehow access the control that lowers the chandelier so that you can do this, right? We love that move. And then that lets you get to this door. So I want to make a way that, like, I'm thinking like you go in, like let's say this is the kitchen. You go into the kitchen and then you have to fight your way through there, and you go through a side door that leads you to the dining room, and then you get to the door there that comes out here, and then the controls are over here, or something like that. Then the question is, well, why can't you get over here normally? Like, well, they're doing some work on the house, and so I don't know, something's in the way. Something's blocking this entire area, but that's a lot of area to block without being super overt of like, what is he doing? Why is he doing that? No. Not supposed to be thick enough for that. You found the flame tiller, good job. So that's at least one idea of how to kind of gate your progress. It's like, oh, you can't go in there yet because, you know, you got to get around through another room to get there, and there's a clue that you can input in the library. Something like that. Hold on, gotta go. Hey.
Can I sit with you?
I guess you can sit with me. I'm gonna turn my camera off. There we go. Dude, but Yoshi's Cookie is not an SNES game, so, I mean, I don't know what you were expecting there. If. There we go, perfect. Perfect.
Hmm.
Okay. A miserable pile of circuits. This is my canon form. Super Pally Wally. That's the one. I don't want to be on the island. Hi, Liari. Welcome in. So yeah, we'll probably do something like that. Okay, 2 options for what to work on immediately tonight. One is I want to add some lights to Iceberg. In the form of like strings of lights. But I want to do it in an interesting way. Alright, there's no way I actually have Celeste installed right now. But I can... hang on. I can at least pull up, hopefully... let's see here. Just pull up Celeste 1A, right? I don't want to see a TAS. Alright, sure. Let's do this. I'm gonna pull up a video. Okay. Surely somewhere in here, as an example... There, boom, these. Okay. These wires here. Look at the movement of these. This feels really nice and fun. Right? But I'm not sure how we can implement that. It's a really nice way, that kind of how it just sort of seems to naturally sway in the breeze. And she's got these everywhere. Not yeah, like they're just kind of all over the place. So the question is, how can we implement something like that, but also have lights on them? One option is shaders, messing with vertex position. So we would actually model a string of lights as a single mesh and then apply a vertex shader to it. That one's nice because it actually would maintain the proportions a little bit. I don't think we want the swaying to be... I don't even know if we need the swaying, to be honest. But the swaying would be fairly consistent. Alternatively, we could actually do a quadratic Bezier curve. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Because I think that's how these are done, either quadratic or cubic. Which you get a nice natural curve out of that. And then the question would be, how then do we get the lights attached in the right places? And then we have to update in every frame. Doable. Doable. There's a joke in there, yeah. Yeah, so maybe we just kind of have like, okay. So consider it an object that we can throw in with point A, point B, and then some focus point that we can apply some kind of built-in swaying to. And then we also provide a number of lights. So this becomes its own special node type. Let's try this. Call this fairy lights. We're gonna fake the lights a little bit with a Sprite 3D. How did I misspell it that badly? There we go. So let's put this in iceberg folder here, and we're gonna attach a script to it. Oh, let's see here. First off, I think if we set this to tool, it will run even in the editor. So we're going to provide a vector3 for 0.1, 0.2, and focus point. And that's what's the default here? We're just going to say 0 for both of these. Focus point initial. And then we're going to maintain a focus point that that actually oscillates through some means. I don't know how we're going to code that in yet. And then like some kind of num lights property. Like, so if we do 10 lights, then we'll divide it into 11 pieces. We'll put 10 midpoints along the way. So what is it actually going to consist of here? My posy. We could do a curve 3D. And then like extrude along that some kind of simple polygon. Could do a kind of mesh. It's the posy party. Yes, it's posy, all right. I think we're gonna try a Path 3D here. You guys are gonna make me have to learn how the British mannerisms of crosswords. I'm just so stuck on the claustrophobic nature of New York Times that it's baked in at this point. It's like, oh yeah, yep, 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 yeah, fencing sword. I think we know where this is going. Yeah. All right, so we gotta get the Path 3D in here. So we're gonna have a function of setup points, I guess. Does this need to reset the points or just initialize the points? Let's just say update points, and it will do either. So we're just gonna completely swap out this curve, I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna do like a CSG polygon along a path. I do like how that works typically, and it gives us a little bit of control over like thickness and stuff. What is a little tricky is positioning the offset stuff on the path versus the actual polygon. It gets a little bit weird to keep up with. We'll figure that out. All right, let's update these points. So that's going to be Path 3D dot curve dot clear points, and then for I in num lights, we're gonna calculate our new points. Ooh, actually, we're gonna go num lights plus 1. So this is gonna be from 0 to 11. So do I actually want to... So that would give me 11 actual instances here. But if I'm doing I need 2. I need 1. I need an extra on either end. Comment to indicate what in the world is that plus 2 doing there. Okay. So Bezier curves. Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's go over what this actually means, okay? Because people may have heard what that is, but so you got a point, another point, and a focus point. And actually, I think this is how MS Paint does curves. Like this. That's, I think, a quadratic. Oh wait, maybe it's cubic that it does. Okay, well that complicates things. We're just gonna start with a quadratic. All right, so the idea is you got some kind of focus point. So let's break this into, let's keep it easy and let's say 6. Let's do 6 points. So we're gonna do a line from here to here. So we're gonna draw a curve between these points using this as a focus. So the idea is we take this point here, which is 1/6 of the way, 2/6, 3/6, 4, and 5, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we just connect these dots here. That's the general idea already. The true idea, if I can represent this a little bit better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna have this line here from the 1/6 to the 1/6 point, and then we are going to draw a point at the 1/6 of that distance, which is about here. And then we repeat that for 2, 3, and so on. And the final effect, let's see, so 2, let's see, 3, halfway on the 3 line is here, 2/3 on this line is about here. And so the effect you get is you get this kind of curve shape. You don't do it, like, it's the entire set of all points, mathematically. We are going to do it stepwise. Alright, so let's say... Well, I wonder if we could calculate number of lights dynamically. How would we do that? I don't actually know. Maybe it'd be better just to accept this as whatever it is. Okay. So we have to do some lerping. So first we have to get a point lerped from 1 to 2. So let's take we're gonna get our ratio value. And that is going to be I divided by num lights plus 2. I want to make sure that's getting cast to a float properly because I don't know. I'm paranoid about Godot int casting something. So let's take our starter point, then lerp it towards the focus point at a rate of ratio. Do the same on B point of focus point to point 2. And now we have to find the point that is the ratio between those. A dot lerp to B at ratio. There's our point that we're interested in. So, path 3D. What is Posey barking at? Okay. We're gonna add a point at that location, and that's it. That's our curve setup. So we can add an initial setup here, and just add a CSG polygon. We can go with just a little square here. Material, let's keep it nice and dark. We may add a little texture, I don't know. And additionally, I might make them just into a hexagon instead. That's very doable. Just a little...
A singular strike.
Oh, thank you, Al. Doesn't have to be perfect, because the idea is this is going to be pretty tiny, right? Something like that would be fine. For our wire. Might even go smaller. That is not creepy. It was a good try. So we're going to say go on path. 3D, and there we go. So now as we move our path and add new points within it, it moves accordingly. Okay, so I guess this would be like this. When does this run? I thought the fact that it was thought this would make it allows it to be. Oh, but we have to do some kind of... There's another one, isn't there? That makes it run in the editor. Running code in the editor. Oh, that's a whole page, huh? Okay. Wow, Posey. Blah, blah, blah. No undo or redo. Well, thought this would work. Posey, what's your deal? Oh, I'm not actually calling this script. We have to call update points, right? Maybe not. What if I reload this? Okay, that's... I mean, that's something. I do see the points here, and they are updating every frame, and they are in the wrong position. That is, I've done something wrong in this code. What have I done wrong here? Point 1 to focus point. Yeah, like all of these are at y equals 0. Focus point, oh! Maybe that. So does that happen now? Okay, well, that is something. Yeah, we have a curve here. The thing is, I don't actually want it to use that. I mean, it's fine that it does. It's fine. This probably needs to be smaller. Nope, that doesn't work. You need to actually mess with the points.
Sorry.
It's okay. So let's move the, let's go to like scale here. Okay. Something like that. Maybe. And so hopefully if we have some kind of oscillation set up, we can just kind of have our focus point move slightly here. Focus point equals focus point initial plus something. I just want it to like move, I guess, just side to side a little bit. Let's just have like a current age of this node. Run sign on that. Oh, we have something. Okay. So obviously it'll normally be for a larger set, right? So like 5 meters. Okay, that's maybe doable. Is that doable? That seems like a bit much still. I want something a little bit gentler. Okay, I think this can work. I think this can work. This is probably... like, the fact that we're doing a path on this is not good, right? Like, it's gonna have to be updating this polygon every frame. If we do many of these, it's not gonna be great. We're gonna try it though. All right, single light. I think we're just gonna go for a sprite 3D. Let's look at our gradients. Do I have any circular here we go. I could maybe use one of these. Blurry splotch. That actually would do the trick, I think. Like just that. Okay, so we need to have the light scene available. We're going to maintain a list of lights as an array. Instantiate it. As a child. Append it to our list. Both excellent ideas. Oh, what could it have been going on down here? We won't know what. Alright, every scene. So true. So true. I don't know if there's a way syntactically to do this. JavaScript has some nice... I don't know if it's just some syntactical sugar or something that lets you get away with iterating over a list and gives you both the the object within the list as well as its index as variables, and it's a really nice one-liner. No slots. Willow was asking for me to make stickers. Like PNGs. Well, she wasn't asking for that. She was asking to buy stickers. And I've never been one for merchandising. I don't know if I'm gonna make stickers, but... Yeah, you were asking to buy stickers, yes. No, that's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. I'm content to just, like, give high-res image... I don't have high-res images. Like, the emotes are as high-res as they are. Feel free to print stickers of emotes. I'm not gonna go after you for that. I am 100% sure that there are services on the internet where you could upload a PNG and receive a sticker for some amount of money. Alright. Light.position is going to be curve.get get point position of index. Okay, does that work? Actually, it probably doesn't exactly work in the editor. Oh, it does work in the editor. Look at that. That doesn't look good. I'm looking at this, like, even if it... Oh, okay, well, there's one... I see the problem. Ah, if only. I+1. There's my problem there. Okay, obviously, the light itself needs to be... treat it a little bit offset. That's not how you do it, is it? impressed that that works in the editor as much as it does. Okay. I mean, I could just like... what can I do? What can I do here? Offset. Offset. Custom AABB. This is sure is a thing right here. Or I could just move it forward a little bit, and maybe that would be fine. Hey, look at that. It's fine. Okay, this might be what we want here. And then what we can do is, like, look at this. It works live. Notably, what's going on here? What's going on with this last point here? Also, it doesn't go along. You'd have to do a path follow. We could do it as path follows. And then you'd get a more even... Yeah. I think we should do it as path follows, unfortunately. Okay, so instead of doing this, we don't add the light. We add a path follow. Add the light to that, and then add the path follow instead of this. For path follow in path follows. For each of those, instead of doing this, actually, I don't even think we need to do anything here. I think this is done. We just set the ratio, the progress ratio equal to this, right? Does that work? I mean, let's try running it. I mean, I know this won't work exactly, but... No, it doesn't at all. Well, but it will let us look at the remote viewer and see, okay, what's the deal with the path follows that we're adding? Ooh, the path follows are fine. The path follows 0. The progress ratio is 0 on all of these. All of these. Okay, well, that's a problem. Progress ratio. Ah, we do need to update that. Okay. Right? Maybe. Let's try putting one in place somewhere and see what we can do. Posey, what are you doing? Yeah. I mean, yeah, she is doing that. Fuck. Posey. Alright, add some fairy lights. So we can just move them around. Ooh, what do we got going on here? Oh, do I have to go off of global positioning? A little bit, maybe. Okay. But I mean, I can see it, which is nice. Yeah. Okay, this kind of works, sort of. Huh. I do kind of feel like I want focus point initial to be automated. So instead of focus point initial even being a thing, I want it to be the average of 0.1 and 0.2. And then down like 1. Call that focus base. Try that. Okay, and now I've got less things to mess with here. Yeah, that's a little bit easier. We'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, let's attach it here. Okay. Attach it to this. Okay. Can I see some lights here? Yeah, the soundtrack in the trailer was just like really going all in on, do you remember this? Do you remember this? What about this? You know what I mean? Like it was a lot. Okay, I do not see path follows working properly here. Decor, fairy lights. Oh, because they're not under the path. Obviously. Where's our path? Okay. It does. I mean, I don't know what to expect. Oh, look at that little lights. They are angled. They are angled. Okay, there we go. That's more like what I want. What's going on here? Is there so much room here? It's because progress ratio should be I+1. Yeah. Okay, that looks fine. Yeah, it looks like there should be 9 there, is what's no. How many lights are there? If I go into remote view. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, so there are 10 lights. But this one is like they're all in the wrong they're not all in the wrong spot. It's one appears to be. If I move this a little bit, am I gonna find? Oh, this is remote view. Show me local view here. Well, hang on. Let me just pull this way out here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Why is there so much room? There should be space for effectively 11, not 12. Okay. Because you still get that one index. There we go. Okay, that's much better. All right. So we'll just tie it to a tree here for this one. Let's bring it up. Let's bring it up. Oh, and let's have an adjustable dip. Let's export that. Default is 1. And this is going to be how far down does it go. Okay. So in this one, if we increase, yeah, see, look at that. So now we can kind of adjust how far down it wants to focus. Oh yeah, see, we can do some cool stuff with this. We can do some really cool stuff with this, I think. All right, it's over there. That's gonna be a really weird thing here. Okay. Move this. Let's try and get this figured out. This positioning. I think like around here is good. Like it's kind of attached to the chimney. I think that looks cool, and it makes me want to add more of them, like everywhere I can. You know what I mean? Like there's 100% got to be one like right here in the middle that you go under. Okay, sorry. I was just looking at that. It was looking really good. And I notice both of these are pointing, like they're using the same wire. Like both of the wires are over here. And I think it's because pointer-based stuff, when used in two nodes that share when you have two nodes that share the same code and they export an array? Was that what I ran into? Something in here, it's using the same thing twice. So what if I just say print point one? Actually, let me just look. The exported values are different.
Just taking what time it is.
Okay. The exported values are different here. And if I look at the output values here, yeah, we still see that in the ready functionality. What about in process, though? If I just look at these, am I gonna see the same? Am I gonna see something weird here? No, we're getting both values. So that's normal. Okay, have an idea. Second set of lights, give it a few extra lights to start with. We're gonna have this tell us for each of these two things, how many lights are we looking at? $10 and $15 both appear. Okay, so that's fine. But it's very obviously using a different, or it's like it's using the same path for both of them. No, two different paths. Okay. Is the curve somehow... That's it, it's the curve, because it's a single node. It's a single node, so the curve is not unique between them. Okay, that looks better. And then this one, yeah, this one's back as well. Yeah, I think that's fine. I would love to see like more of these kind of strung up around here too. So let's do that for a bit. It's not gonna reach there. So I need to do one like that goes back here. Oh, now this is good. I can paste these values here. Oh wait, that's the wrong one, isn't it? Okay, point 2 is the one I want to mess with. Yeah. But I can keep one of the points the same in a bid to line this up a little easier. So now point 2 is locked in. And so for this one, I mess with point 1. Why is that happening? That's weird. Okay, that's fine. Where did my other one go? Uh-oh. That's probably fine. That's probably fine, what they say. Okay, so where's this one? It's over here now? Is that right? It is. It somehow is a copy of this other one now. Wait, no, it's not. That's a lie. It's because I need to restart the scene because it predates the code change. Oh, you're gonna do a thing? It is possible to do something in Godot. I won't say what. Something. Oh, this looks nice. This one less so, but it's alright. Oh yeah, this really adds something. This really adds something. That's not quite connected. So right here is not quite plugged in. There we go. Now it is. This one is not quite plugged in either. There we go. Oh, see, that just looks great. Now, what about when we're coming underneath it? What is the camera like doing here? Oh, it just squeezes under. So we can pick a random one every spawn. An array of scenes. I use arrays of scenes plenty of times, but I'm typically hard coding the array in a let's see here, in like a manager code like this. Like, here's my 5 scenes, and here's my array of them. And then when I need to pick one, how does this work? Oh gosh, don't look at that. That's really... Here we go. It's weighted a little bit, so I just have a, here's an array, and pick a random one out of that. That kind of thing. I mean, that... So let's see. Now, are you... Has variables like name... Yeah. I mean, that's like the most naive approach. So it might not work for you in particular. But you can manage that in just a dedicated class, or, just some dummy node that just has a script attached, and all it's doing is managing that pool and keeping track of things for you, and then letting other things read off of it. So basically you'd have a dedicated spawner node that tracks, like, all right, here's my scenes, they're already loaded, I just need to instantiate them and add them. And if those scenes have like a little bit of setup time. Yes, isn't that fun? I think where do I use that? It takes a weird, like, you have to pass in, oh, here we go, for items, apparently. Item pool. the hold weight. And it gives you the item index. Oh yeah, you have to map it. So you take, so if you've got your list of, you know, oh, I want to choose either A, B, or C, you have to pass in an array of 5, 10, 5, which would effectively say, I'm going to pick B twice as often as A, and twice as often as C. So you have to pass in, you pass in an array of weights to rand weighted, and that returns the index of the array that you're actually going to use. Pretty good. We did fairy lights. Fairy lights in Iceberg. It's really giving a little bit of charm, a little bit of cozy charm. Ignore the elephant. I lost my legs in the snow. It's true. A little light. I got a gentle sway to them, and I'm doing it in a very inefficient way, I'm sure. It works, but I can think of many different ways we could. It's a curve. It's a curve that we are updating the points on every frame. It's just math, which is a terrible excuse. It's just math, so it can't be that much work. Liari, thank you for the lizard party. Enjoy these penguins. A lizard. Oh my gosh, here comes so many lizards. Oh, and it's been officially decided that this is probably the prettiest chapter. I made the snow. We tried doing a snow effect a while. That's a lot of lizards, you guys. I'm gonna have to cut you off. I tried a long time ago to get a good snow effect going, and the way I went about it was very, very wrong. It turns out all I really needed was just to really crank down the opacity and make it a lot more subtle. Like you can't even see it over the snowy bits. You really only see it against the dark tree background, which I think is cool and good. This is still bugging me a little bit. The lights should not look like that. Want them to. Well, that helps there. They're still intercepting that. Perhaps just a little bit more forward push, and maybe we bring the alpha channel down a smidge. Well, we're not going to see that until I reload, so let's do that. And then I think we'll switch over for a little bit of Minecraft. I'm still seeing that at full. Why am I still seeing that? So, oh, you know what? We should enable billboard though. Definitely. Transparent is already on. We could add a little bit of color to these lights. I think a yellowish. That's too yellow. A little bit more orangey. It's got a nice little electric hum to it. Now, why does this not appear to be? Oh, it is respecting the alpha channel. Just it's okay. I have an idea. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give it some fake bloom. Oh, look at this. Look at my fake bloom here. That'll work. I like that. So now this one here, we could probably make this one a bit smaller. Not too small now, but a bit less orangey and more pure white. Yeah, I'm digging that. That does look pretty good. Oh, that's what you were after. Man, I really abusing inherited scenes. But I come from more like corp applications background, so like inheritance is like, gosh, it's great. I use it in a lot of stuff. Every time there's like, oh, these things are the same type of something, I'm like, we're gonna have a base class for that. Let's do it. Until you go maybe 2 levels in. Oh man, no, you don't know. You don't know how fun it is. Good old-fashioned abstract classes made no sense in school when it was all theory. It's like, what? Why do I need a rectangle class and a square class? Why can they just not be 2 different classes? And then you actually find a case, and you're like, oh, I do want that. I do need to learn more about resources in Godot. I think I am effectively implementing resources, but in a silly way. Oh, you know what? That looks pretty good. It's a very gentle sway. I'm kind of using resources, but it's more like I'm using big blocks of lists and just referencing them everywhere. For example, the item directory. I call them directories here, which is basically this. It's just like, all right, this is one big class with object, object, object for every item in the game, and that is something you should use a resource for. But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, editing resources, is that done in the inspector? Like, let's say that strawberry was actually a resource, so it was in a folder called, strawberry.res, and then when I want to edit it, I have to click on that particular one, and then I have to edit it in the resource, or in the inspector tab here in the sidebar. I think that's the part that I don't like, and why I'm so... There's a connection here with me not liking that and not liking Blueprint in Unreal. I love big blocks of code that I can scroll through and edit in bulk with a find and replace, and I'm a weirdo. It's true. You only ever need the one. It will always be that item. But the thing is, my item system is not finalized. And at some point, I'm gonna be like, oh, I need to go through and add, I need to add a property for, morality. You know, like using this item is evil and using this item is good. And then it's like, okay, well, all right, I add it to the base class as a property, and now all of these things have it, or maybe can resources inherit? Do resources inherit off of, can you make like a base item? Okay, so I add it to my base item. The Yees have it. I add it to my base item and say, okay, now there's morality. But now I need to go through and add it to everything. You know, like add the value. Like, oh, this one has a morality of +1. This one's -2. I would become violent if I had to go into the inspector and like, okay, pull open this one, go and scroll down to the field, click it. Okay, now go to the next one, do that. Versus in code, I could just like, all right, boom, copy, paste. -1. That's when you make a tool to automate it. Yeah, maybe that's the magic. I love seeing my big block of every item in the game, you know? Because the one nice thing about this, and I know that there would be a way to do this with a group of resources as well, is like I was able to turn the enemy directory, which is the list of every enemy in the game, that has very easily converted into the tattle log, to borrow a phrase from TTYD. And I'm sure there would be a way to do that with. Well, you can't even see them because, you know, look at how many enemies are in this game. We're still working on chapter 4. We're still working on chapter 4, guys. I imagine we're gonna see the 50th enemy by the time we finish with chapter 4. It's like 43. That's almost 44. Next time, I think it might be time to start working on an achievement system. Okay, let's switch. I got plans for achievements, of course. Naturally. We very, very much want to make sure that it can work with or without Steam. So obviously we are going to be putting the game on Steam, but let's say that I also want to do another release on another platform, and the other platform doesn't support whatever. Hi, I'm back. It's all of me. It feels weird to be up this high. All right. So if we go back in and we're like, okay, I want to have my Steam release and my other release, they're going to have different ways of integrating with the achievement server for that platform. In fact, with Steam, we're actually going to have to download a whole new version of Godot to do the... Oh, I've got it on my desktop somewhere. What is it called? Godot Steam. Oh, I should have remembered that. You know, Godot Steam. Godot Steam is cool. Getting on this. Nope, this one. Getting on the Discord just in case Al pops in for some Minecraft time. So we're gonna have a base achievement system built into the game that tracks achievement unlocks per file.
Not sure.
And that's going to be stored on the file level, I think. Oh, get through the initial lag. But then we're going to have we're gonna open the door for something that can then link into whatever appropriate system for that build. So if we're building the Steam edition of the game, then it can hit Steam servers for achievements. Local and only. Yeah, exactly like that. And that way, if I wanted to have like, if I'm releasing, cool. If I'm releasing on, say, I don't even know if itch.io does achievements, but let's say they do. If I want to do an itch.io deployment, then we will we'll do something similar. Like, okay, well, here's the build for itch, and it's got a whole separate block of code for this.
Incoming.
Release it on Switch 3. There you go. Watch the cord. So yeah, that's the general idea with that. Is have a base system that has some hooks where we can request, you know, API calls being hit, something like that. But yeah, we've already got a handful of achievements planned, but I need to then actually implement that with the system and have somewhere where you can view your list of achievements. So we'll need icons, you know, the achievement's a big system. Let's see, what were the plans on that? I had some. Yes, we might do milestone stuff. That is like deal X total damage over time, win this many battles, defeat this many enemies, and definitely some progress flags of, you know, beat chapter 1, beat chapter 2. Those are easy mode achievements. Those are easy. I want to have a lot that feel more impactful. 5 HP run. Challenge runs would be an interesting one because you would have to lock the player in. I can think of a handful of games where there's an achievement for doing some kind of challenge run, but you could just accidentally go against it and it wouldn't even tell you. One that comes to mind is the achievement for minimum number of handcrafts in Factorio. I think it's not minimum. There's like a little bit of, there's like a few crafts of leeway, but not very many. That was a really annoying run, by the way, but I did get through it. So if we wanted to do something like a 5 HP run, that would have to be... Oh, you know what Bug Fables did? Well, I see, the thing is, Mac, I already have that version of Minecraft. I can play it anytime I want on my computer. In fact, I've been able to play that version of Minecraft this entire time. Bug Fables, the way Bug Fables did some challenge stuff is they let you name the files, and if you named it specific things, that would lock you into some kind of special challenge mode, like one that like randomizes some stuff or prevents you from seeing what characters are on the field. Every character looks the same. That was a very funny one. So maybe something like that, kind of like a code entry system that lets you start a file as a challenge run. That would actually be pretty cool, and we should consider some kind of code entry. I'm actually going to type that in. Locked into 5 HP. Double hard mode would be an interesting one. So anyway, here's the current state of the factory. Hold on. Okay, so current state of the factory board here. We are automating cobble, gravel, and sand. That one's the easy part. Let's get this big shield out of the way. Cobble's on its own. We're just cooking into stone and sandstone, or smooth stone. Not to craft anything in particular, just because we do use those blocks, so it's handy to have that. Sand for glass, clay, and soul sand. Soul sand into quartz, which we can use for a handful of things, like making granite and diorite. Clay has become the new way I'm getting gold. Clay compacted into clay blocks, baked into terracotta, crushed into red sand, washed into gold nuggets, into gold ingots, into gold plates, and then gold plates combined with cogs and iron nuggets make precision mechanisms. These are a real pain to get normally, so having that fully automated is really nice, especially because we need them to make these little factory gauge items for automating the factory. Meanwhile, gravel, we wash that to get flint and iron nuggets. Gravel and flint and lava can be combined to make andesite. Andesite and nuggets into andesite alloy, which we can then use for making a lot of the create items, shafts, cogwheels, which also need some wood. Automating gearboxes, which is nice, because gearboxes are something that I always feel like I want more of in the game. Also making a lot of andesite casing, because I've got some plans for the factory. Let's do a quick look down below. Nothing new at the vault, really, but down on layer 2 here. It's been expanded a little bit. Right side is mostly the same. We got our crafting, 3x3 and 2x2, trasher. I think this is kind of new here, is where we are doing the andesite casing. We can also do brass casing here. It strips the logs and plops them under a deployer to apply the casing and ships that back. I did add a dedicated sander rather than using the catalyst, because I feel like the catalyst was a little bit cheaty, kind of a little bit too easy. Potion setup for making redstone. And then I've expanded a bit over here to add, this is where we do our precision mechanisms, which is normally a very time-consuming process in the early game, and a bulk compactor for the clay blocks. Further down below, on the production line, still making cobblestone over here. We've added sugarcane, which we're going to use for making cardboard, and kelp, which we use for the belts. Very important. That's the andesite setup. This is no longer in use. I've actually got that switched off. And then the tree farm, which is slow, but at least steadily producing. So I think what we want to work on is a sort of dry dock for production of vehicles. So there was an area that you may have seen from the assembly layer that has a little bit of daylight visible. And that connects to right around in there. I was thinking that maybe what we do is in this area, we just set up a really, really large elevator platform. So that we can bring large vehicles to the surface, like, I don't know, if we wanted to ship something off with a large airship. This would not really be for airship construction. This would be for ground-based vehicles. So it'd have to be pretty sizable for some of the stuff that we sometimes build, like large bores, large drills. So we might want to do a full... I'm trying to think what would be a reasonable size for a platform. Like my instinct is like... I don't know if 16 by 16 is big enough. That's really the concern. That might not be big enough. But 32 by 32 is, of course, too big. But I can think of some vehicles that I would want to build that are definitely larger than a chunk in length. Maybe not in width. Like we may need to test a few things in creative. Because one thing I've got in mind is just a large drill for mining for copper and a few other raw materials like that. This adds, Aeronautics adds a nice borehead drill. I need to drop the shaders. It's just really struggling. Second. Okay, that feels a little bit, it's still a little bit, oh well, distant horizons might be to blame for that. Yeah, with me being underground. Oh, there we go. No, still slow. Let's see here. Let's disable that. Coming back. Certainly feels better. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing, Dove? I guess they just decided, yep, that's what we need. That's what we need right there. That's pretty ridiculous. Congratulations. That's it. Do they let you change the announcement? Yeah, they probably only added it for 54. That's my assumption. Yeah, let's do... Does this work? It says 54 to me. It says GermDove has been a moderator for 54 months. And I would have assumed that the message was, or at least the initial setup of the message was automatic. Oh, I was messing around with this schematic.
I mean, Dad,
Mm-hmm.
what's that?
That's something that someone else has built that I checked out.
Wow.
Okay, so let's see if we can do a little bit of testing with the borehead. Definitely done a lot. I've done a lot of testing with it to try and figure out, you know, what is the... Oh, is it already disassembled? There we go. Okay. Like this, a lot of these just don't work. A lot of these setups. So is it gonna remember my commands? No, these look random. Fill -20 tilde, move 20, 20, 10, 20, dirt. There we go. Big block of dirt. That's all we need. Okay, so that's also a little bit annoying, the way that it does this. Okay, we're just gonna use this for now. Okay, so suppose we've just got a big drill. 7 blocks. Can we... See, that's already pretty big. What if we had 2 of them side by side? So let's see. I think the way that these work... is that the only things you can have connected are the bore heads themselves. Oh wait, that's the rock cutting. You can have that, and then you have to attach it all to a bore head bearing. And then this is where you extract the items from. So you have to provide rotational force to it, which, you know, that's fine. We'll figure out a way to do that. And then you do need, I think, some glue. But then you extract the items from here. So if you do this, what kind of amount of force are you getting off of that? Or rather, what amount of drill power? Because really what we want is the ability to drill forward without breaking the ground underneath us as we go. One thing I wanted to check out was the mechanical roller. That's something I saw that I thought might really help. So right now, we can kind of just use this to get an idea of yeah, so it's cutting through all of that. Okay. So that would mean we'd want this pretty high up, or we just want to not have the wheels be here. Thanks for the blizzards. Or do something with these rollers. How do these work? Nope, place them this way. Okay. And I think they have to be, yeah, they have to be side by side. Do they actually act as wheels? Is one question. Like, man, you just can't turn them around. All right, so what would this be like? So this would drill the ground. Would it roll? Let's get a wheel mount. Test that. Get a tire and a wheel mount. Here we go. I don't know how big we want it to be. I would love to make a fairly large drilling machine. Okay, so we imagine this. We tell this to use dirt, I suppose. Paving material. What is this? Roller mode. Clear blocks and pave. Okay. Oh, and it updates all of those. That's pretty nice. We have to extract these items. I'd love to extract it downward through a chute, but it's not really on the table. Can you use the auger? No, you can't extract. The only thing that can extract directly would be chute, funnel, maybe some other stuff. I don't know. All right, so we would do like that and a belt. Into I mean, it could just be a barrel, that's fine. Okay. This is... Well, we're going to see if this is going to work. I don't know. I don't actually know yet. Okay. So that's all glued together. I really don't know how this is going to work. Yeah, that's about what we expected there. Give me the physics wand. Okay, well, very front heavy, as it turns out. No surprise. Just add more weight in the back, right? Still, is it the rollers that are so heavy? Also, this needs to be... There we go, so it's extracting the dirt that it mines, which is good. Why is it so heavy, though? Alright, let's try, give it more weight on the back. Okay, that helps. Okay, so that's just a matter of weight, perhaps. Okay, so now if this were to nudge forward, how does the roller work then? Does it only work on trains? No, it can also work on most other types of moving contraptions, it says. That's nice. Okay. I mean, maybe it's just because it's not actually being provided with any rotational force. To do that... Yeah, we actually got to give this a little bit of... Okay, so let's say... Is it because they're not on the ground? Let's see here. Let's try some things. Smaller tires for a start. Oh. Ooh, close one. All right. Yeah, I'm starting to think that the roller's just not going to work. No, even there. No luck. Well, that's out then. I really want to find a way to create a drill that can deal with a gap. Now, one really silly idea... What if it is a particularly large drill? Like, let's say 4 of these set up side by side. No, I was about to say this, but on a balloon, so we don't even need ground. It actually can just float through. That seems like a bad idea in general. A lot of the things I've tried so far are using belts as kind of tracks. This little guy is fine. This one worked really well until it rolled off a cliff. Apparently, one thing that can make them more efficient is less bore heads, or less rock cutters per bore head, but then you need a way to get the items out of every single bearing. So for something like this one, we'd only have the one to deal with. So let's see. Cool. Oh, this just broke somehow. I don't even know how that happened. All right. Get rid of this. Okay, so maybe... All right, so we need another set of these. Now, yeah, that's what I thought. Not glued. Oh, well, that's not going to work. I gotta get the barrels first. That's still connected diagonally, which is why it's not falling. Okay. Oh, I could have used a slime ball to do that. Okay, so we get that going. Great. This is no good. Get rid of these. This still could be something, but there's still no way to deal with gaps unless we did like a wall of deployers underneath where the tires would go. I don't love that idea. I would like something that's like fairly big enough that it can be a bit more self-sufficient. You know, just a rolling small factory in its own right. So let's see here. How are we going to do that? So right now, in its current state, it's simply too low. If only. So just lower the wheels. Perhaps. So right now, current height. All right, so there's where we want to aim. That's how low we want to aim to be. And then this is our area that we are allowed to go. This is another problem with these large ones, is you get these corners to deal with. And so if you're going to have a single system that is capable of mining the whole thing, you gotta clear out the corners or have like a large gap you can get over. So we'll try the wheel mounts here. I would love to try and see if we can just do a double of this. It would require a lot of power, but might be worth doing. But then how far over can we go realistically with this? Not very. That becomes very difficult to deal with these kind of turns here. Is you just don't have much space on the sides. But that is good as far as the wheel height is concerned. It's not clearing out the ground underneath it, which is a lot better. So we would do, stop that. So we would want to do another one of these. So this barely clears below itself. And this one does not. Why is that? Let's start here. I think we can move this forward a bit. I think we can go forward a bit here. Get the wheels this far up. Okay, so we'll do that. And then we'll let this go pretty far. Far enough to leave room for like a... Oh, this is going to become very wide if we're not careful. Okay, so assume that we can drive there. Let's do this. Wheel mount. This. Wheel mount. And then just some heavy blocks for now to weight it back. Okay. Okay, so far so good. That's not even. That's not going to be enough. Okay, that's fine though. So we need to give this just a little bit of power here. Let's see here. It's going to be a little bit off center, but I'm okay with that. We'll go slow. Oh, wait. Gotta start this. Alright, so what's this gonna look like? Go a little bit faster than that. Okay, so here it goes. What kind of... and stop. So right there. Problem. Yeah. Problem right away there. It's just not very good for this. The minecart contraptions are extremely overpowered because you can get by with next to no power. This you actually have to provide rotational force. Alright, I'll break it. Stop. So you'd have to hit this pretty dead on to be able to fit through. That's no good. No, don't like that at all. The 7, it feels like it would be pretty good, but it's just not there. No. Okay. Let's go back to the drawing board on that. It's like if you go with the smaller sets, you get a more boxy carving area, which is good because you can just kind of make a big array of those. The problem that presents then is how to get the items out of all of them. Alright, so if we're doing a sort of build zone up here for something roughly, let's say, double that size, maybe one chunk is fine for that. In which case we do need to carve out that amount of space. Actually, I would love to have a machine that we could drive around, low profile, that we could drive into a location and then it could carve down. What are the stickers? These guys here. How do these work? Redstone controlled block attachment. So this lets us kind of lock a machine in place. So it's a toggle. So I wonder if we could use that to sort of attach. Oh, that's it. That's the entirety of it. So I'm imagining kind of almost like a four-legged table on wheels that we can slowly drive into position and then just drill down from underneath. kind of like that big pulley-based one we've got. That would be tricky. So what do we need for that? 64... how much drilling is it going to do? Is it 64 drills for that? I've got drills. I've got some drills. Alloy casing. Okay. So we need 3 alloy. Oh, where's all our alloy? Here it is. 3 stacks of this. 1 stack of casing. What's the other thing? Iron. Send to the main floor. Yeah, I kind of feel like I need the, I need a big drill to prepare the area where we're gonna build these big vehicles. Go, 64 drills. I don't know if that's gonna be enough for what we want, but let's assume it will be. So we'll have a rope pulley. We want some stickers available. It needs to be able to handle overland travel, so we want big wheels. I've never made these in... Oh, it's kelp, huh? Okay, what about the large ones? That makes sense. And then the small ones, okay. Oh, that's a clever little way of doing the setup there. All right, how's our kelp supply looking though? Too great, right? Yeah, we're still waiting on more kelp to be cooked and turned into belts. We can get some more real quick though. Yeah, like a big pilotable drill. I need to take this over and fill it up. Let's do that. Let's take this backpack over. First, we'll drop off the kelp and get it cooking. Goes in the chest. Yeah, a lot of it's already heading to the cooker. Send all that to the cooker. Okay, we are going to take a quick trip over to Jorsh's base. He has a pretty good kelp farm there. The actual throughput is nothing crazy. But it's within a chunk loader area, so it's running all the time. So the effect is he has plenty of kelp. I like the new windmill he's got set up. That does look good. Here we go. So we want to set this down. There we go. That is a lot of kelp. We're just gonna load up. That's all of it. Nice. This isn't his only kelp farm, right? I think he had another one over here somewhere. I guess he moved it. Oh, this is new. He did mention that he squeezed in a new mod with different chain types or something. I think there's something really interesting about using the chains as how can we do this? Okay, I know what we can do here. There we go. Nice. So now that's just emptying out about as fast as it would from the chest, but more kelp. The cooker. 10 stacks going there. That'll get us some big tires that we can make. Let's see here. So that gives us big tires. We need a frame. I mean, just about everything around here is made of spruce, just because that's what our farms have been. Now, how are we doing on the cooking? Okay, still work in progress. Oh yeah, because that's 6. It takes 6 of these to make one of these. So these 2 stacks we're missing here is 12 stacks of this. So yeah, I guess that is gonna... That does take some time. But I do run through a lot of belts. We can do something a little bit more interesting. Let's see here. The girders are kind of interesting. We have here some of this andesite. Ooh, industrial iron support. Could be cool. I like the look of the copycat block without changing the texture. But really nothing to be done about that. Scaffolding is cool. I mean, we may just make it out of just spruce for now. Okay. I'm just gonna set this backpack here. Alright, so drills, we're gonna need a rope pulley, right? Is that the one? Yeah, we don't want to use the winch, do we? Because that's simulated. Yeah, that creates that's an actual for an actual physics object. So I think rope pulley would be the way to go. Which is wool, casing, and sheet. Right. Wool, casing, sheets. What was it? There we go. Okay. Rope pulley, bunch of drills. Let's go 9 by 9. Yeah. I think that'll be better, because then we can center the drill on the rope pulley, which is nice. Yeah, I think that's really the long and short of it, right? It'll need some kind of motor system. We'll figure that out. How's our kelp do? Oh, now we got so much kelp. Great. Send more to the cooker. All right, I think we just need to head out and start. Oh no, I need the wheels and the mounts. We need 4 of those. I'm gonna go through a lot of redstone links as well. Alright, wheel mount. Iron sheet, casing, and spring. Okay, you get 2 of those. So there's all the springs we need. Sheet, casing, and spring. Alright, what is it? Okay. It's not super close. Alright, now we got some cooked kelp somewhere in here. Something might be going on with the cooker. I'm not seeing that cooked kelp get in the system. Let's see what's going on there. So that's down here. Okay, looks like it is cooking. It's not sending. You know what? I've seen this happen a few times. So notice the red light on these other ones. Well, this one's not blinking. So it's happening here too. It's very strange. So if I toggle it to receiver, from receiver mode and back. There we go. Now it's going again. Very weird. So I need, for the big wheels, the really big wheels, I need 4 of these tires, so 16 kelp blocks. Each of those takes 9 kelp. Oh, I need to go fetch it then. Alright, just send me to this. I'll do my best with it. Oh, actually, it won't take that much at all, will it? Oh, out of shafts, though. I do need to get more of those. Send me 2 stacks. That's very handy to have. Okay. Oop, need a little bit more. These are going to be very big, aren't they? These are going to be huge tires. Okay. Now, where to build? Right over here, I guess. It's good. Yeah, this is going to be fairly large. Because it needs to contain a 9x9 of drills. So... oh, these tires are going to be absolutely huge. Let's take a look. Yeah, that is pretty big. But for overland travel, that's kind of good. So somehow we're going to fit in 9x9. I think a nice frame of logs would be good. Now we're going to have to actually provide rotational power here. So let's not forget about that. And then for the front wheels, we want to do the steer. Maybe on the back as well. I don't know. Yeah. So I want to leave a lot of space underneath the tires. So if we're doing, I think with the wheel mount, if if you provide it a redstone signal on the top, that counts as breaks. Yeah, it breaks it. So we might want to leave that open as well. So we want to leave this for the shaft. We could, let's see, we can do the turning with the wheel mounts, or we can do reversing. I think we're just going to go forward or reverse on all 4 tires. Maybe just the back. I don't know. We'll just experiment and see what feels good. That does mean that we want to allow for power to get through here somehow. Maybe just go casings. We can actually get away with that because casings are free if they are on a shaft. Like that. So then this doesn't actually count. So we can have that going on. Okay, so that's 9 in the middle. So you would leave a little bit of space there. Like that. A little bit of space for the redstone. So that leaves 7, and then the 9th is here. A little bit tricky. Does make me want to go over the top instead, somehow. Like that. Well, if we're doing that, we should just go logs. It's a lot cheaper. So 9 by 9 starts. Say 9 by 9 starts here. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's our 9 by 9. Then leave a gap. And then the wheel mount. Gap. And then the wheel mount. It'll work. It'll work. Okay, and then straight 9 through here. With casing. Leave that one open. And that into wheel mount. Big tire. We're gonna go right into this hole, aren't we? Don't want to be doing this at night. Okay. We will do a similar sort of setup here. Log, log. And then just across. We'll figure out the details of that in a bit. Okay. Nice, nice. Let's get down some saws here. Now, this was gonna be weird. We're gonna just have to do the gluing very carefully, I think. That is currently in line. So maybe we could do the gluing in such a way that it's a completely separate object, like it's completely disjointed from all this. I think that's doable. Even up here. Yeah, and that leaves a good margin for driving off. Five. Seven. How do I have extra? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Good. We're definitely going to want some handles on this. Don't have any handles. Alloy and nugget. Very doable. Affordable. Okay, the drills. How are the drills going? The drills do need storage. A pretty significant amount of storage too. And that means that they need a way of extracting that storage. So how is that going to work? We rope pulley it up. This is not centered on this, but I'm okay with that to some degree. I think I would like it kind of more all or nothing. You know, if we're already going to be off center, let's get all the way off center. I think this could be, we could go ahead and set this up as a physics object now. And then start working with it. Except for this mess. This mess is going to be weird. Yeah, let's get some chests on it. Or should it be? It could be a vault. Actually, extraction-wise, that simplifies things. Okay, how many stacks of items on average are we going to get? Assuming that it's all full and we're going down to bedrock. How many how many stacks of items is one drill getting, or one row of drills, let's say. 9, 73, let's say 150 times 9. 64, 21 stacks. Yeah, so a vault per row is what that would add up to. Don't love that. Like the easiest way would be 3 vaults. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. 3 vaults, each of size 3. And we just hope that's enough room. We could technically stack on more if we need to after the fact. All right. Yeah. I already had a rope pulley. That's cool. That's pretty cool. All right. So let's position this up. Let's try and go low profile here. We're gonna try and lock it in here. Is that how high up it's gonna get? If it comes up 2 blocks. If it comes up 2 blocks. So let's hypothetically it's here. How are we gonna extract the items from it? We might be able to do a belt system, but that leads us there, which isn't great. It sort of makes me want to move these vaults up. By 1 block. No. Move them on top of it even. That's super possible. So now when this comes 2 up, it's right there. Well, yeah, now we're sitting pretty here, right? Because now we can just have like a central vault. How central does it need to be? That's a good question. That's a pretty good question. Oh, we can't run it that way. That is not gonna work unless we make these taller. They don't have to all be separate. We could stack them into a big 3x3. Like this. And now we can grab items that way when it comes up. Much easier. Okay, yeah. Okay, good. Which way's the front? Are we gonna have all-wheel drive? I want some of this industrial iron catwalk to go across. That would be really good for this, because we'd be able to look over and see the drill below. Regular trapdoors would have the danger of us falling through. Okay, so we need industrial iron sheets. So if I want 81 of these, I need to run this crafting recipe 21 times. So we're gonna need 84 iron sheets. Ooh, plus 2 more of these. So 84, 96 iron sheets. Okay. I think that's it. I think I've done my math right. Okay, then these have to go down to compressor. Let's use the workshop instead. Just 'cause it's an unusual item and not something that we're gonna have in bulk. We need to see about a potential raid target. I feel good about the light strings for the town. That actually worked out really well. GQ's on Crimson Desert. That might be what we end up doing. You know what? I think we need to go ahead and get that going. Thank you all for hanging out. I'm gonna finish this up off stream. Friday, I think we start the achievement system, and I'm gonna try and get some more work done on the rooms in that house sometime. I got a lot of things that I want to get added into that. It takes some doing. But thank you all for watching. I will hopefully see you guys next time. Bye.